got the radio on, ear to the band, eyes on the spots, phone in his hand. With ham alerts pinging, he's ready to go. Every top activator he's gotta know. His rig's on fire and his mindset tight, chasing down calls through day and night. From park to park, he's taking them down, breaking the pop-ups best around. He's the hunter, stalking the air, no time to waste, he's everywhere. Watching the spots, fire in his eye. When he calls you, you can't deny. The hunter's coming, and he's coming fast. Every call he makes, you know it won't last. His ham alerts are blowing up, no time to wait. Get another park before it is too late. The spotting page lights up with the names he knows. He's tuned in quick before the pile up grows. His call signs known all across the land. When the hunter's on, you'll understand. He's locking them in with a single sound. Another log filled as they all go down. He's the hunter, stalking the air. No time to waste, he's everywhere. Watching the spots, fire in his eye. When he calls you, you can't deny. The hunter's coming, and he's coming fast. Every call he makes, you know it won't last. Yeah, you know it won't last. He's got the gear, he's got the speed. Ham alerts are popping, he takes the lead. With every ping, his legend grows. The hunter's drive never slows. From east to west, no one escapes. He's catching them all like a game of chase. Spot to spot, he's clearing the way. No one stands a chance, no one can stay. He's the hunter, stalking the air. No time to waste, he's everywhere. Watching the spots, fire in his eye. When he calls you, can't deny. The hunter's coming, and he's coming fast. Every call he makes, you know it won't last. And when the day is done and the bands go quiet, still checking spots, stirring up a riot. Ready for the next one, ready for the fight. The hunter's always on, deep into the night. And when the day is done and the bands go quiet, he's still checking spots, stirring up a riot. Ready for the next one, ready for the fight. The hunter's always on, deep into the night.
What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by. Your one stop for everything adventure radio. Some good music and a little bit of shenanigans. It is Sunday. One of my favorite days of the week. You want to know why it's one of my favorite days of the week?
Why is that?
Because we get to sit here on episode number 100. 100 episodes of shenanigans, where people have came back. I bet you there's people in the chat that's watched all 100 episodes.
They're crazier than we are.
And that just makes them, that just makes them certifiable. But
Right.
people who are certifiable, they normally decide to get even more action, and they come over and they join the Patreons. These guys are absolutely awesome. Matter of fact, we're going to talk about one right here in a minute when we get started on the stream. But thank you guys very much for everything you do. Also, the YouTube members, the people who are scared of being a rover. And tonight, I'm going to actually announce the new benefit for Patreon, top tier, King's Court, and the YouTube Rover will be in that tier to get that new benefit. And then the ever-changing board, Kent, Kilo Niner Alpha Echo Echo, who did actually as an on-stream donation. I'm going to say it's off-stream because I didn't see it to off-stream. But that's because my OBS is still on the fritz. But he did buy me a coffee last week, and that got him up to the 6th spot, and One Whiskey Charlie moves up to the 7th spot. So always changing with that board. Dan, what is going on?
Man, it is Sunday. Welcome, as James said, to the 100 episode of Shenanigans, everybody. First in the chat for the 100th episode was Kelly Rose, KI4JAV. Next was Whiskey One Whiskey Charlie. And Andy Cowley, always there, buddy. Always good to see you. Thanks so much. James, KI5MBO. Hello, hello. Larry Bingham. Ronnie, Kilo Oscar 4. Zulu. Romeo X-Ray is here. And Truffle Butter, Victor Echo 3. X-Ray November Sierra, Stroke TB. And I'm not good at the non-imperial math, the metric system, but I don't think 100 is a kilo. That'd be 1,000. We're not at episode 1,000 yet. Stay tuned. Keep checking back every week. Soon we'll be there. Whiskey One Radio Charlie. Papa, thanks for all the contacts today while you were out in the park. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec. Terry is here on episode number 100. Kilo Oscar 4 Golf Bravo Bravo was happening, Mo. November 4 Bravo Delta Whiskey. Brent, hello, hello. Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? KE8 YYM. Good evening. Good evening. Kilo 4 Lima, India. Yeah, buddy. Howdy, howdy. Whiskey 0 Charlie Golf Charlie from East Tennessee. Good to see you. Colt 45 Whiskey Tango 9 Juliet. Welcome, welcome. It is Shenanigan Sunday, episode 100. And Craig. November 4 Charlie Whiskey Bravo. Hey, hey, buddy.
And
what's going on, James?
And what Brent was probably meaning, and very hit it on the head, it is the Eagle episode.
The Eagle episode.
Me and Dan has now got our Eagle Award for shenanigans. We've got a Shenanigan Eagle going on.
How about that? We're working on the tier 2 Eagle.
That's right. I'm glad to see all these repeat offender holders in the chat too. And it's been an interesting weekend. For sure. It's poured the rain all day today, but it's been interesting. I said we was going to talk about one of the Patreons, and I want to give a big shout out to Whiskey One Whiskey Charlie, because tomorrow, Monday the 16th, the POTA 33 spikes start shipping out. And I was nervous about shipping these spikes because I had never got to personally try them out. I had spikes out to people who had the poles and they were trying them out for me. But you know me, I like to try things out myself. And Brian was nice enough to drive about 8 hours from his house all the way up to the kingdom's capital and do a little bit of activating with myself and Kilo 8 Golf Quebec. We're going to talk about him too, for sure. But he drove up here to activate with us and let me check out his pole. And his wife was even nice enough, even though she wasn't there, to give him permission. My screen's not working well, but I now have my own 33 pole. So there will be several videos coming out with the 33 and the 33 spike. So thank you very much, Brian and Anna. I wish Anna would have got to make it up here, but she did get to hunt us. We did 2 parks. We did the Tomlin Wildlife Management Area, and we did the Kingdom's Capital, the throne room itself. Brian,
the rare one.
Brian actually even stayed in the throne room.
Very nice.
So,
very nice.
But he also got to experience a phenomenon. And I don't know much about this phenomenon, and maybe people in the chat can help me. But does anybody know if shampoo has an ulterior motive or meaning? Because as we packed up last night, a ranger pulls up that I've never seen before. And you know, we all know I got bad hearing. And when I do hear something, normally I hear something outrageous. Like Dan will say, "You want me to get you a coffee?" And I'll hear, Terry rode a zebra to Christmas. You know, I'll hear something stupid like that. So this dude pulls up and I hear him. And I heard him correctly, actually. But I said, "What did you say?" And he said, "Do you want any shampoo?"
Yeah, well, you got to say it like he did, right? Do you want any shampoo?
Really, really, really quiet. "Do you want any shampoo?" And I'm like, "What?" He said, "Do you want any shampoo?" I said, "Shampoo?" He said, "No. Shampoo." I said, "No, we don't want no shampoo." He's like, "You're not the guys from the cabin that wants some shampoo?" I'm like, no, we're not the guys from the cabin that want some shampoo. So if anybody could tell me what wanting any shampoo means in a state park.
Are you sure you don't want any shampoo?
Years ago when I was geocaching, I learned you don't back up and park in a state park because that has ulterior motives too. We're not going to talk about them on the stream because they're nasty. But just so you know, you're not supposed to back into a parking place at a state park either. But I was just curious if shampoo meant anything. Maybe it was because Terry was there and that was code for Terry to, go meet him in somewhere or something. I don't know. But then the funny thing about Terry, so Terry finds out Brian's coming up. And, he figures out, I guess Brian told him we was meeting at the lodge or whatever. And I get up to the lodge. Now, mind you, I had activated 1810 the night before. So my plan was going to be, I was going to take Brian and we were going to do Tomlin. Then we were going to do Chief Logan Wildlife and then do Chief Logan after late shift. We ended up not doing Chief Logan Wildlife because it was pretty cold. But anyway, get there and Terry's got his antenna up. And he's like, how far he worked Mary park to park? And me and Brian immediately look at him like, well, did you get 10 contacts, Terry? No, we're not activating here, Terry. He's like, crap. So me and Brian have to pull out the 2 meter and 70 centimeter, and Sidewalk Sherry's there. So myself, Brian, and Sidewalk Sherry, and then I use my club call, and Brian used his club call to get Terry activated for the early shift.
It'd make it even easier if Clarice and Terry's would just get their call signs.
And the bad thing was is we ended up getting back to Chief Logan with like 10 minutes left, and Brian was working on his audio settings with some people from Discord, and Terry ended up getting 10 more calls for the early shift as well. But
yeah,
it was funny. And I don't know if Dan knew it or not, but me and Brian was messing with him back and forth. Dan was helping Brian with his audio. Sometimes Brian would talk, and sometimes I would talk. When I would talk, Dan would say, yeah, it sounds good there. And then Brian would talk, and he'd say, you need to back off the compression. Then I'd talk, and Dan would say, yeah, it sounds good there. And then Brian would talk, and Dan would say, you need to do this.
Different voices, man, yeah.
So good times. Brian got to visit the Capitol and didn't even go into the main part of the throne room.
That's right. That's right. Did he get stopped at customs on the way in, though, or did he have a pass?
He had a pass. I
Good.
knew he was coming.
That's good. Made the century aware.
That's right.
Oh, happy birthday, Terry, by the way, and congratulations.
Brian says he backs in at all parking lots. That explains the truffle butter thing, Brian. That explains it a lot.
I did not know about the back end at parks thing. I guess now I do.
I was told that, and then
I've never been confronted. I'll put it that way. And
now here's the thing: I have heard other horror stories. Actually, a POTA horror story. Even a guy was activating a park. And I'm not even going to tell you what it means, but I'm going to tell you this is what happened to the guy.
Oh, I'm sure they can figure it out. Just
a guy was activating at a park, and this guy comes up to his window because he's backed in, and starts talking to him. And the guy's asking him what he's doing. And he's like, "I'm talking on the radio, blah 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 blah." And the guy starts rubbing the guy's leg through the window. We'll just say,
really,
yeah. That was out. I've seen that on social media as and everything on that one.
Well, you said rubbing the leg, and PP Man just showed up in the chat. Hey, buddy, good to see you.
That does not surprise me. Yeah. PP Man was probably the guy outside the window doing the reaching in, but so I don't back into parking places in state parks. Supposedly that's only in state parks.
Maybe it's a West Virginia thing. That's never happened to me.
Now I did learn about it in West Virginia, but this guy that was activating was not in West Virginia. So
interesting. I'm just gonna start backing in everywhere now. Just see what happens.
well, I did notice there's there's certain parks that are known for its activity.
Yeah.
And I did notice that I drove up through those parks in the places where the activity happens, and I noticed that all those gentlemen are backed in. So,
Are they backed in like, right next to each other, like just like in a long line?
well, no, they're in different spots, but then you do see the cars that are backed in together.
Okay. Does it almost look like a train?
I guess that would be like the do not disturb back in when you're back in beside them. Oh, God.
Oh, shenanigans.
I'm just giving y'all general warnings. Do not back into a state park.
That's good information because I've never heard that before. So.
Yeah.
Terry says that's Pickle Park.
And that's probably why I'm trying to find out what shampoo means, because that guy was kind of creepy. He's like, do you want any shampoo? Like, I felt like he was trying to sell me drugs. I really did.
Right.
He was being really conspicuous. Yeah, I mean, you can ask Terry and Brian. I'm not exaggerating this for shenanigans, y'all. This was legit how it happened, straight how it happened.
Almost like shampoo is slang for a substance of some type that you didn't know about. And the first thing that came to my head when you told us that last night, and I'm not going to go very far into this one, but he said somebody offered him shampoo, and the first thing that popped in my head was an Adam Sandler song. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, somebody
oh, what was that? You okay? Was that your POTA 33?
Yeah.
Oh no. Terry says he went back later and got some shampoo.
It's funny because Terry come over to the house to get some more stickers to go out to the King's Court members. And, I did notice he was in a hurry. Normally Terry wants to hang out of it, but Terry was in a hurry.
I got to go get my shampoo.
That makes a lot of sense that Terry was going back to get some shampoo.
I got to go get my shampoo.
Oh, good times. But yeah, it was fun. Activating, and it was easy actually for me because Brian ran the mic most of the time, and I just sat there and logged for myself, and it was piece of cake for me.
Certain people handle pileups better than others, and we'll just leave it at that. And Brian does a really good job. Some people get very easily overwhelmed when more than like 3 people are calling them.
He does do a good job, but I learned that he does not have my voice recognition though.
Yeah, that comes in time. Yeah.
Because he would hear those calls and partials of them, and he would call because I didn't know who when you're logging and there's another person calling, you hear different things, and several times I typed in something and then he goes somewhere else and I just delete it. But when he would say, like the Kilo Oscar station, I went ahead and typed in the call it was.
Yeah, that's one of the toughest things for me. If I'm running the pile and logging both, no problem. And if you're running the pile and I'm logging, 9 times out of 10, we'll pick the same call sign we hear. But like in Huntsville, the Pearsons were running the mic and I was calling. Now I don't activate all the time with the Pearsons, so it's kind of I don't know their flow and their ear that much. It's really difficult for me to log.
Well, and that's the thing too, because Brian's in Alabama, I'm in West Virginia. There's going to be a fluctuation of calls that he's going to hear better than I hear, and a fluctuation that I hear better than. And there was people that was working us last night that he would hear them better than I would hear them because I did not know their tone, and he would call them right out because I'd say I'd have a Kilo India 5 in, and he'd say the full call. I'd have to put the full call in, and then there was ones that I would hear better than him. So,
yep.
And then PP Man just couldn't hear evidently because Brian said the Kilo Echo 8 station, nothing. Brian said the Kilo Echo 8 station because we done told him PP Man's in there, and I had my own mic and I was like Kilo Echo 8 Puppy Tango X-ray 59. He's like, oh, 59.
Dude, it gets me in pileups. There could be like 40 million people calling you, and this happens at least once per night with you. You'll call the guy back. I'm just going to make up a call sign. The Alpha 4 station, come back, dead air. Alpha 4, come back, Dead air. All right, nothing hurt QRZ. And then I hear Alpha
Alpha
4.
4.
I'm like, what the?
Every single night.
It's like, God almighty, guys, what is going on?
You know what? I'm going to let him off the hook for not answering Brian because, you know, he's learned his lesson and he only answers to the king.
That is a good answer.
That's a good answer, PP man. And congratulations, PP man. You did not call me during my activation today. You hunted me. So I guess we're broke up again, but you'll be my girlfriend again when you call me during my activation because that's what girlfriends do.
It was actually pretty funny. My last activation last weekend, I thought I heard you. It is weird because I thought I heard somebody way down in the noise hollering QRK, QRK. I could have swore I heard it.
I thought I heard you the other night because I kept hearing something that sounded like whip, whip.
Yeah.
And I called you back a couple times and you wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then come to find out that Josh, who never did get through on 40 meters, was yelling something else. I don't remember what he was yelling, but when he yelled it in Chillpad, it had the sound of a whip to it to me. And I was like, that was you. I could have got you.
Let's see. Brian says, don't forget the QRP shirt.
Don't forget the QRP shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, that Brian. I thought,
yeah. I'm sorry, truffle butter, Brian. Truffle butter.
I thought it was Whiskey One Whiskey Charlie. I was like,
that's what I get for calling him by his real name.
I was like, yeah, you should have said truffle butter.
That's right.
I would have forgot. Thank you. I'll take care of that.
It was weird last night too because it was like somebody flipped a switch. Got you on late shift, and about 15 minutes or so into the new day, it's literally like somebody flipped a switch. Y'all went from 5.7 to almost nothing.
And here was the thing. We wasn't almost nothing either. We were just west.
Yeah.
Like we stayed on 40. I had planned on doing 60 and 80 last night, but we stayed on 40 meters forever making contacts. So
that's good though. How many did y'all end up getting?
I mean, like 100, but we were, you know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Look for what I'm looking for.
Kelly Rose says, how do I get a sticker pack?
How do I get a sticker pack? Kelly Rose, you should have one in the mail.
That's right.
And somebody's getting ready to confirm that in the chat, or at least they better confirm it.
Josh says, I'm the imposter. I called for 15 minutes in the mobile.
Yeah, what was it you were saying, though, Josh?
He was probably saying whiskey. Whiskey.
He said it in Chillpad the other night, and I can't remember what it was, and I was like, okay, Terry has confirmed. Kelly Rose, you do have a sticker on the way to you. So I'm just doing something. It'll just take me a second, Dan. And
see, John in West by God, Kilo 8 November India Victor, wants to know if he gets one of your Canadian challenge coins.
Let me see if I've got that link up here on my. Do you have that link on your Andy, Dan?
Yeah, I do. Let's see if it still works. Yes, I do. Hold on a second. I will tell you in just a second, John.
If you want, you can bring the whole thing up, and we can go over everybody. Just got a coin coming to them. Should be this week.
I will go through the list here. Share my screen. All right, those getting coins. Victor Echo 3, Tango Hotel Radio.
Stroke Alpha.
Whiskey 8 Echo Romeo. Those are only two at 100%. I don't know if y'all can see that. There we go. Make it bigger for you. Alpha Delta 2 Charlie Delta, 98%. November 8 Kilo Mike Romeo, 98%. November 8 November Juliet Romeo, 98%. November 8 Radio Charlie Lima, 98%. November 8 Sierra Tango Hotel, 98. Victor Echo 3 X-Ray November Sierra Stroke Tango Bravo, 98%. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec, 97%. You're slacking, Terry. Victor Echo 3 Juliet Lima November, 97%. Me, Wit, 97%. November 4 Charlie Whiskey Bravo, 92%. Alpha Delta 8 Kilo Bravo, 90%. Kilo 4 Lemur India, 87%, excuse me. Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra Fox Bravo, 87%. November 8 Alpha Papa Romeo, 86%. Kilo 8 November India Victor, 79%. Kilo 9 Alpha Echo, 76%. And where did you chop it off at? 73?
73. If they're not green, they're out.
There you go. So 18 people will get the Canadian Rove Challenge coin.
And the question was for John, and Kilo 8 November India Victor is in the green. So yes, John. Yeah, and all coins have been mailed out except for the Canadian coins, because for some reason you guys are having some kind of postal issue. And I guess you guys are going postal up there or something. I don't know.
As Josh says, yeah, buddy. Hi, Mom. Everybody say hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. And, you know, PP Man, like I said, he did hunt me on CW today. And he's been doing really, really good on CW. But before he used to do CW, he used to always do sideband activations. And, you know, somebody thought that he deserved a theme shirt for his sideband activations. And we got this made there, PP Man.
That's great. That is funny.
You know, Terry's not the only one. Terry had his 5'9" Big Daddy shirt last week. PP Man, we got you a shirt this week for all your hard work in the QRP business that nobody ever heard you. So congratulations on going to CW where people can hear you.
So the Canadians are having a postal strike, I guess. And all right, so Brian, let me ask you this. Since they're having a postal strike, if your bills aren't delivered, do you still get in trouble for not paying them? Or can you just blame the fact that you never got a bill? And they can't argue with it because they know they're on strike, right?
I mean, do they even get their bills if they're not online? Because when Terry went to ship the Canadian coins up there, the post office down here refuses to send to Canada right now because they're on postal strike. So I don't know how that works.
Yeah, that trash can needed Oscar the Grouch in there. I agree.
Well, I mean, it needed PP the Grouch in there.
Yeah, something. I don't think you could use Oscar the Grouch. I mean, it might get you for a copyright on that. But yeah.
You can get your bill over the internet. That's true. But we're talking about the people that were born in like Terry's era, Brian, that don't use the internet, you know. Or
what if the internet goes on strike? You're SOL, yeah.
I tell you, if bills in Canada work like they do in America, they don't care if you got your bill or not. If it don't get paid, they cut it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good stuff. So on the upswing, today is the 15th. I know 5 people who are going to be really happy in 16 days.
Yes, that's true. 16 more days, guys. 16
more days and 5 people. The same number as last year. What is it? What is with the 5 people? The same number as last year is going to get the PZN challenge done. And I got a really big surprise for you. On December 31st, I'm doing one activation. And it is going to be QRP. And it's going to be slow scan television. And you must cross mode me through CW to get in the log that day.
No, Kyle, it's not the same people as last year because I refused to hunt them on January 1st.
No, Kyle, the PZN challenge is the otherwise known as the I must break you challenge because it is four of the five are different people. Terry is the only person who will repeat. So, and I look for 5 people next year, and Terry being one of them because I told Terry he has to repeat. So who's going to be the other 4 that's going to step up?
All right, so I'm going to give you your other 4 right now. It's going to be Kilo 8 Golf Quebec. This is for 2025. Your final 5. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec.
Now Dan's making a prediction. Now this is bold. This is bold.
Yeah,
I want to hear this.
This is my prediction. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec. Kilo Oscar 4 Zulu Romeo X-ray. Whiskey 1 Whiskey Charlie. Josh said he probably wasn't going to do it again. We'll throw in Sierra Fox Bravo again. Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra Fox Bravo. I need one more. I don't know if Michael said it that he was going to do it. Yeah, it's a toss-up between Eastern Standard Time if he's going to do it again. If not, I'll say November 4 Bravo Delta Whiskey.
PP Man says not me for sure. So I'll give my 5. I'll give my 5 yeses too. And I'm hoping that I get 15. I really do. Because I think I'm going to make it more interesting next year. I think I'm going to give more incentive, even though the final incentive ain't even went out yet. But I think it's going to be Kilo 8 Golf Quebec again. I think it's going to be Whiskey 8 Echo Romeo because I did say as long as she's in, I will do a Saturday night late shift, which will be a Sunday activation.
You know, I forgot you said that, so I'm going to take Brent off my list and add Liz.
So I'm definitely putting her. I'm going to think maybe November 8, keep me running.
Yeah.
Andrew and Rachel both work. So I think I don't know that they'll make it. And the twins, sometimes they're playing, sometimes they're not. Kaylee's pretty dedicated. I'm going to give her a 3rd spot. I'm going to say.
Is Craig doing it again?
I don't know if Craig's doing it or not. That's why I'm not counting. The only repeater I'm counting is Terry because I know he's crazy enough to do it another year. I know how all the other people felt after last year, so that's why I'm not including none of these guys. Everybody that's done it before is capable of it. But
Terry just said he's only activating next year, so he's going to get you park to park.
That's fine. Day. That's fine. Terry told me that he was doing the Dan challenge.
That's right.
Terry said he's going to hunt me at every single activation next year because Dan is going to buy him. What did you say? A very, very, very nice prize.
Yeah, I have no idea what it is yet, but it'll be worth your while. Thank you so much for the 15 months, fart sniffing zebra. You got 2 more to list.
2 more. I'm going to say Whiskey 1 Whiskey Charlie. And trying to think of somebody that's got a decent work schedule and a mobile.
Terry, you know, if you hunt them, or I mean anybody, hunt him every single park, every single activation he does next year, a hex beam would not be out of the question for a prize. Just like
I'll go with Zulu Romeo X-ray.
Yeah, I put him in my list. Yeah,
I could see him pulling it off.
Steven, no, because his work schedule can kind of mess with him.
Now, if Steven's girlfriend got her license, she would do the PZN challenge. because she would show Steven what it's like to have balls enough to finish it.
Kyle, I think you just volunteered, buddy. Thank you so much.
Kyle volunteered to get the 5th spot.
No, he volunteered to write down all the predictions to see if we're right in 365 days or so.
Who's writing down these predictions, Kyle? It's on YouTube forever.
We have to have an adult supervise us. So we really appreciate you being here.
Mo says he's going to do his best. There's a lot of people that says they're going to do it, but my picking of my 5 was I was trying to pick people that hunt me very actively now, and I know have good mobile setups or decent or a decent way to get me while they're working. That's a big key feature.
It is. It really helps, like you said, to have a good mobile setup.
I mean, if Dan was man enough to step up and say he's going to do it again, I'd declare him. I'd declare him in there quick.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think Dan's going to step up.
I don't think so either. That damn Dan guy. Now you have to have a good mobile setup, and it doesn't hurt at all to have a way to remote into your radio. So makes it a lot easier. I did it hard last year. I mean the hard way. I got you even, for the 2 weeks I was roving up the East Coast to Maine and back.
Mm-hmm. Now here's the kicker. Next year's going to be easier and harder. So I'm going to be more active next year than I was this year, because this year was a light year for me, even though Dan looked at stats and declared it was not. But it is a light year for me.
No, I said it was a light year.
It's definitely a light year for me. So I'm going to be way more active next year. But all right, I said this last year. I'm saying it again, and I'm going to try to stick to it this time. I'm not going to help people next year like I did this year. And yeah, somebody will probably say, man, I've hunted you for 8 months and I got a wedding this Saturday. Can you go out on a late shift? And I'll probably do that. But what I'm not going to do is, if I am done for today, I'm not going to look at my phone until the new day rolls over, because I'm not going to look at the messages that says, can you please just go out and get me?
I mean, it's I don't have a problem with helping or you helping. It's I wouldn't start helping until like the last quarter, though.
It's not that I mind helping. It's just people just become to rely on it, and it makes it too easy.
Right.
They
got to learn to one of the challenges to the challenge is to work around his schedule, not to have him work around yours. Right.
I mean, for example, last year on my trip down to, when I'm taking trips, I let it be known ahead of time. I'm on a schedule. When I'm activating is when I'm activating. I mean, I can remember one day last year where I activated 3 times that day on that trip. 3 times. And you're looking at least 2 hours in between each one of those activations. And then somebody fell out, and they're like, well, you didn't do an early late. I was waiting for the early late. I wasn't nowhere near parking for the early late. I was traveling.
Let me talk about this character right here for a minute. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec says he's never asked for help. Now, it's a little bit easier for him in 2024 because he can basically be around, the radio 24/7, right? So, but if anybody knew Terry back in 2023 when he did the PZN challenge, he was still a member of the workforce, and he got his exercise via ham alerts at work, running up and down like 2-3 flights of stairs to the parking garage every time James spotted, not just to get him once for that day, but every time James spotted, he was hauling ass up and down a flights of stairs at work. Yeah. Stairmaster Terry, that's right.
Do y'all think we should do our goal stream next week, or should we do our goal stream for the Christmas stream? Because we will be streaming Christmas night, but should it be next week or Christmas night? Because that's
Wait. Shots fired. Shots fired. Mike says, am I the only one left who has never texted you?
Who has never texted me. Hold on, let me make sure of this. Craig has never texted me.
Nice.
And Terry's never texted me, but Terry has said, I'm going to a doctor appointment at this time. He didn't ask for nothing, but he said, will there be another activation during that day? But Craig don't have my number, and you don't have my number, I don't think, Mike. Mike may have my number because I've texted Mike. I have texted Mike and said, where are you before? And I have had somebody text Craig before.
Alpha Echo 4 Extra Oscar says, I've never texted because James has my phone number wrong. Eh?
Wait, who, what?
Yeah, right.
Oh, Craig says he has my number. Okay.
Oh, yeah, he has it.
I didn't even know you had my number.
He's going to wait till January 1st and blow you up.
He'd be like, I don't need you today. I don't need you today.
Freedom!
So Michael and Craig are both in the chat. Okay, Michael says he don't have it. I have texted Michael before, but he didn't save it evidently. So Michael don't have it. But anyway, since Craig and Michael are both in here, are you guys going to go for repeats? We're just going to lay down the gauntlet now.
There you go. Smack it down. Let's see what happens. Kyle says he's texted you naked KX3 pictures, but you never text back.
Well, Kyle, I'm going to say, when you text somebody a picture of a radio and it's a little picture, you don't normally get the responses.
He sent you the side boob pic of a KX3 and you didn't even bother to text back. Craig says, I have to make it this year first. That's a good point. It's just 16 more days, brother. 16 more days.
Okay. So okay. It was Mike says it was Sherry that texted him once. Okay. I thought it was me.
I guarantee you she texted you from the sidewalk.
Now, I have added people many a times. Everybody in the challenge has been added before because I knew I was on my last activation and I was trying to at you to get people in.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants to do it next year without me adding them or anything, feel free to tell me. Don't at me. If I'm there, I'm there.
I hope somebody that may be watching this that you haven't worked very often decides to do it, and it's going to sneak up on you because it's a call sign that you're not very familiar with. And when you start paying attention, because let's face it, the first 3 or 4 months we really don't pay attention to who's in the PZN challenge because there's a whole bunch of people.
Oh yeah, it's a ton of people.
But as those start to filter out, you're going to start seeing maybe a call sign that you're like, who the heck is this? I think that'd be pretty cool.
I would like to see. I'd like to see Mo get it next year.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Kelly, Kilo India 4 Juliet Alpha Victor get it next year. And I'd like to see there is a Dayton Challenge PP man, but I can't put that out right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me think of one more who doesn't hunt me a ton, but they've started coming on recently and hunting a lot more. One more.
I think Zulu Uniform Alpha should do it.
Oh, I would love for Arnold to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Josh. Somebody who's not even in the Discord, just go ahead and do it. That would be funny.
You know what? Let's make it really interesting. Who's going to do the PZN challenge next year and only hunt me on CW? I challenge Kilo Delta 9 Uniform Delta Victor to do the PZN challenge only on CW because you're Mr. CW now. So I challenge you.
You know, if you do that, you're kind of locking yourself into doing CW every day.
I have no problem with that. I have no
Yeah.
problem with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. There are many days that I would only do CW, but the PZN challenge prevented that.
Right, but I'm also factoring into the days that I mean, let's face it. If you activate, I mean, you're going on over 3 years now every day.
Mm-hmm.
There's days that you just don't want to do it. There's
there
days
is.
that you feel like crap. There's days that you've had COVID 2 or 3 times and you're going out with 104-degree fever. Do you really want to be doing CW?
I'll be honest. There are days this year where I probably would have just said, you know what? I've done this over. I'm going on 4 years now. I don't need to activate today. But the 5 people that needed me to be out there still needed me to be out there.
Yeah.
So it kept me going too. So if somebody see by doing this, I'm putting Dan more work because Dan now has to do a new code that shows me who's worked me every day CW
that's fine.
now too. But I like making Dan work. This is all about making Dan work, y'all.
I mean, when I did it in 2023, there were a couple of times that year that I literally contacted you remote in my bed, remote to my radio in the other room because I was sick as a dog running a fever and I literally could not get out of bed. And being an activator and going through that, I can't even imagine.
It doesn't. Thank you very much for the super chat, Chris. And Mike, I'm gonna start saying that you are just a glutton for punishment. So not only has he not texted me, but he's done it without ham alerts.
Wow. That's having to pay attention to the spots. Yeah, I don't think I could have done it without ham alerts. Why don't you activate every day and make in a challenge to keep people on their toes on when you are going to activate? I think I just had a stroke reading that, Kyle. Hold on, let me try it again. Why don't you don't activate every day and make it a challenge to keep people on their toes on when you're going to activate? Okay, so don't activate every day. Activate sporadically, and people still got to get you every time. Yeah. I for real thought I had a stroke for a second reading that.
I'm going to say it's impossible to get me every time. Prove me wrong, Terry. Prove me wrong. Make Dan spend some money next year, Terry. Prove him wrong. But I'm going to say it is impossible to get me at every activation.
It'll be a feat. Brother Don, good to see you. November Charlie 4 X-Ray Lima is in the chat. It's North Carolina for extreme lovers. If you haven't checked out his channel here on the tubes, go check him out.
The problem with me not activating every day, too, Kyle, my goal stream for next year will enlighten that a lot. So I ain't heard no comments if people would rather see it next week or if they'd rather see it the Christmas show itself.
Either one. My goals are already written down.
And if you are you follow the show fairly a good bit and you would like to get on and just give a real quick thing about your shows. When I say next week, I mean Wednesday, Brian. Because the stream after Wednesday will be Christmas. But if you want to jump on for a couple minutes and let us know your goals, I will be dropping the link that night. I don't know who else coming on the show. I know myself and Dan. I think James said he's not going to do goals for next year. I've got to get up with James. Terry's goal. You want me to tell you Terry's goal? Terry's goal is to get me activating early on Sunday so he can go to Mexican at 3:00. That is Terry's goal.
That's a good point. Yeah, Don, we were just talking about that ham alert, especially if you're doing a challenge. saves your bacon a lot. There's no way that I could have paid attention to the spots page. There's just no way.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say that somebody could do it really easy without ham alerts, as long as they have POTUS spots alert in my Discord.
Even then, it'll spot other activators too, not just you. So you have to really pay attention.
It will spot other activators.
When I was doing the PZN challenge, no lie, guys, the only trigger that I had active for that entire year on my ham alert was myself and James. And yes, it's a good idea to put yourself in your own ham alerts, by the way.
Not if you're me.
That way you know if your spot hits. So
if I put myself in ham alerts, I take my phone and I throw it away.
Yeah. But yeah, for that entire year in 23, there's only 2 active entries in my ham alerts. Because if my ham alerts went off, it was either me or him. I mean, I didn't have to filter through that extra noise, you know.
I'd love to get like 7 months in and have like 15 names still, because then I'd start making it interesting. I'm like, all right, let's see what we got. 3 a.m. No, I wouldn't do that.
Kyle says he has you in his ham alert, and it's only annoying at least once a day.
Well, Kyle, this year's been an easy year for your ham alerts too.
You might want to mute it come January 1st.
My average for this year is only around 3 parks a day. So it's been a slow year.
This is an interesting goal. All right, Paul Aaron says his goal is drone tracking. That's interesting. I've been watching YouTube videos about the drone shows, like drone light shows, where they send up like, 150, 200 drones and they do, some kind of choreographed.
Oh, yeah.
It's really cool. Really cool. Makes me want to go out and get 200 drones. I don't know what the hell I'd do with them, but.
Brent says New Jersey is hot right now. I bet it is for drone tracking.
DJI Mini 4K. That'd be cool. That'd be useful at. Oh man, can you fly it in state parks? Because it'd be pretty cool to get some activation footage.
Most state parks you cannot fly it in.
Yeah, that's
at least in West Virginia. I'm not going to speak about other states, but most of them in West Virginia. Well, it's against the rules. I'm not going to say I've not seen people flying them.
Yeah.
But
drone show at Stone Mountain in the summer. Okay, that's cool.
See, my problem is where I'm a YouTuber. If I fly one and take footage for my YouTube channel, I have to have a license.
You have to have a commercial license, yeah.
Which I've wanted to take.
Cannot fly a drone here in Big South Fork. Yeah.
Most of them you can't. Now there are some parks, like for example, Babcock State Park. There's certain areas you cannot fly it in, but other areas you can fly it in the park. So you just got to check what your park when you're doing stuff like that.
Yeah, and like you said, pay attention to how you're going to use that footage too. If you're going to use it commercially or even make a penny off of it, you have to have a commercial drone license.
Or have somebody with a commercial drone license film it for you. Luckily, I do have access to a commercial drone pilot, so I could get some done. So, and I'll tell you, it's been another successful weekend for the Cheligus too.
Nice.
Terry and Brian was both really impressed with that antenna. It's becoming my favorite all-purpose. You know what I'm saying? Just because I know I can literally use it anywhere. I can use it in places that I can't use the Eagle One.
Y'all were using that antenna yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, your audio sounded fantastic on it. Bada bing.
It's funny because a lot of you guys were complaining about 40 meters that's fading out last night. Yeah. And after the activation, I looked at Brian and Terry. I was like, I was surprised how good we did on 40 meters. Because it was actually Normally on
He
40
did say
meters
that,
at
didn't
that time in the evening here in the winter, I'm looking at about 60-ish contacts, and then I got to flip to 60 and 80 because it just dies this time of the year. But when we got 100, I was like, okay, I'm good with. And it's funny too because I noticed the wind was really whipping last night, and I looked it up. Terry, we were getting about plus 15 winds during that because I kept watching the whip on the antenna. I was like, I don't know if
Plus,
this is going to stay.
you're getting plus 15 winds?
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten a negative wind?
Yeah.
Because that would suck.
Yeah, we've gotten them before, but you're normally under the bridge for that.
Oh, I got you. What about these new benefits? Kilo Oscar 4 fart sniffing zebra says.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about them, but before we do, Mike says we're light on the likes, so I guess everybody's hits up the likes. So, Dan don't even know what these new benefits are.
You know?
And it's something that we've been needing to try for a while because it is part of our StreamYard account, Dan. But I'm thinking that we're going to do a monthly webinar for our top tier King's Court and POTA activators. And the topics will be chosen at the beginning of the month, and everybody will know ahead of time. You'll sign up for the webinar, and it'll be just a learning feature for what you guys wanted to learn that month. And we're going to do that every month. And that would be your new benefit there, Mr.
Nice.
Chris.
Very nice. Always good to learn.
Not like we don't learn in our other rooms as well, but this will be specific to it. If you can get the votes, to push that for the first topic, Larry, I will gladly set you in a room. Matter of fact, we could do the webinar during the day where I can be in the field if that's the topic, and I will show you why I do not activate with the NICOM in the field.
Here, hold on. I can probably replicate it. Let me get to a clear frequency here. Let me turn off all my noise reduction and everything else. Yep.
The funny thing is, you just turned all that static on, and Larry's like, "Boy, the band sound good tonight."
Now, if you want to hear like good audio.
Las palabras no tumban ni una hoja, efectivamente. Pero las palabras.
Now, I guarantee you these guys are across the street running about 2,200 watts.
It's not just that the filtering sucks. ICOM have great screens, Larry. They're pretty radios, but you know what happens when you date the pretty girl in high school and you marry her, Larry? 30 years down the road, she ain't pretty no more, and she's still got that same brain.
Yeah, but her screen is fantastic.
Her screen might be fantastic, but she ain't got that brain. She's got that same brain. The pile-up busting in a Yaesu, and I have done this. This is my field day hobby. So I find a guy right off the bat that's using a 7300. Every time I'll find him, and I'm like, all right, that's my boy this time. I ain't never got him before. And we'll wait, and I'll wait until he gets to a station that he's tried for 5 or 6 minutes to work, and he just can't get through that pile-up. He's just been calling. And I'll walk over there, and I'll say, "You mind if I show you something?" He'll say no, and I'll unhook his antenna from the same antenna he's radio, and I'll plug it in the back of my Yaesu, and I'll call one time, and I'll get through that pile-up first time. And he'll say, "How'd you do that?" I said, "Look at the name on the radio."
Then you hook his coax back up to his ICOM and walk away.
Yes, sir. Now,
Savage.
mind you, I've had 2 people sell 7,300s after field days from that.
That's funny.
Not only that, but Larry, if you can feel good holding that little girly mic in your hand, you have more issues than we got to talk about. You probably the kind of guy that would try to bring the Poda King Bud Light to a ham fest, knowing the Poda King ain't gonna drink your Bud Light, Larry.
I got a picture of you reaching for one.
You might have a picture of me reaching in the refrigerator, but I'm not reaching in the Bud Light. The actual picture that I remember is Terry packing around those Bud Lights.
Hmm.
And then later, a picture of Terry drinking those Bud Lights.
That's right. That is true. Man, time flies when you're having fun on the 100th episode. Appreciate you all joining us for number 100.
100. Man, time is ran out. I can't believe it's over. All right, Dan. What you got coming up?
Man, I'm looking forward to episode 101. This has been fun, man. 100. I can't believe we made it this far, and it's come quick, too. I didn't even realize we were sneaking up on that number already. But hopefully everybody has a great week coming up. It's week before Christmas. So make sure you get your shopping done, and make sure you give Kyle Alpha Alpha Zero Zulu, aka Mom, give him a high five in the chat.
That's right, and for me, it's going to be another busy week. Last week, I was dropping videos like crazy. I think there was a couple of days I dropped multiple videos or TikToks and videos and stuff. And I'm going to try to continue on that trend going into the new year because I got some big goals for YouTube as well. Thank you very much for being a member for 14 months, James, and everybody smash that like button. But the important video, I guess, will be this Wednesday, the goal stream. So if you're looking forward to seeing what my goals will be for 2025, that'll be the show to do it. Everybody have a great week, and I think John said 40 meters is dying, but I don't think I'm scared. I'll see you guys on late shift 73.
See ya.